Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, big development coming in from the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court has directed all owners along the Kanwar Yatra route to display licenses and registration certificates at their establishments. This is a big win for the Yogi Adityanath government coming in from the Supreme Court of India. The order of the Supreme Court now reads that we have been informed that today is the last day of the Yatra. In any case, it is likely to come to an end. At this stage, we say that all respective hotel owners shall comply with the mandate of displaying the license and registration certificates as required statutorily. We will not go into other issues. That's the big statement coming in of the Supreme Court of India on almost the last day of the Kanwar Yatra. Now the Supreme Court refuses to go into the merits of the other arguments and says that all restaurant owners will have to statutorily comply and display their names, that is through the display licenses and the registration certificates. It's a massive vindication and victory for the Yogi Adityanath government. Like last year, even this year, the QR code mandate of the Yogi Adityanath government, which requested all hotel owners to display their names in accordance to the law, was challenged in the Supreme Court. Last year, there was a stay on this order, and now I have my colleague Rhythm joining us live on the broadcast. Rhythm, this is a massive development coming in from the Supreme Court, a big vindication for Yogi government.
I think Mukul Rohatgi took it away for the UP government this year when he said the regulations are framed under central law. I think line put the course of the hearing into perfect understanding for the top court. They said it is not the state of UP, but it's a regulation that is under the central law. Last year they had a law and order, Mukul Rohatgi said, when the Kanwariyas were ransacking from Dhaba because of these kind of issues, and that is why the police authority had issued this order. In fact, he also said last year an ad interim order was passed without hearing us. He also said, I'm only following a central law that's applicable in fact for the entire country. Justice Sundaresh said, we will close this application by saying then follow the mandate of displaying the license. Mukul Rohatgi said the decision is only by a professor. There are hundreds of people on the road. None of them have come here. Justice Sundaresh said, we are not going to go into who all have come here. And I think it's also important to mention, Kruthar, there was from the other side, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Huzefa Ahmadi, senior advocates appear. Now you read out the order. The court has passed a simple order closing the application by saying this is the last day of the Yatra, likely to come up at the end of the near future. Therefore, at this stage, we will only pass an order that all respective hotel owners will comply with the mandate of displaying the license and the registration certificate as per the statutory requirements. They're not going into the other issues argued. They're making clear of that. But this is a big win for the Yogi government because all hotel owners along the Kanwar Yatra route to comply with the statutory license and requirements now.
Indeed, Rhythm, and it is a significant development because last year there was a stay order. This year the Supreme Court refused to put a stay, and now effectively the Yatra is about to end, and yet it has not gone into the QR code issue. How significant it is legally speaking in terms of the change in the position of the Supreme Court since last year?
The Supreme Court's position has not changed. The Supreme Court has clarified they are not an issue. But when advocates of India the argument point law, this is a central law that has to be Supreme Court agrees that has made the Supreme Court stable registration certificate.
All right, I think I've lost that line, but ladies and gentlemen, that's a big development coming in for the Supreme Court of India, which has now refused to get into the matter of the QR code.